Tiefoɔ any tiefoɔ Michelle Masanso atenase ha Ghana TV so na Paul Addo and na Kisi Ejaben our special prosecutor and na oma clash and Addo I revealing them been on so lashing out OSP Kisi Ejaben after his a press conference or say Papa na journalist ebe to ho can send the any mag on penny and to my judiciary no ban so on grow horns be and Addo eka in semono essay beko akakotie abra.
The Republican Constitution, fidelity to the Constitution. So this is in respect to the president. Most of those judges who gave this ruling were appointed by the president, but that doesn't matter because we are building a democracy. It doesn't matter. They ruled against the president. They ruled against His Excellency. They said, no, Mr. President, this one you are wrong. That's the society that we are building. Kisi Ajabin says that he is not in that category where when he does something, the court can look at it. The court shouldn't look at it. And if they look at it and they think what he did was wrong, then the court is against him and there will be corruption in Ghana. Who does he think he is? Does he drink water? Who does he think he is? That because he is special prosecutor, when he gives a ruling, the court shouldn't say anything about it. And then he collects journalists together and tells them this hogwash, this total hogwash. That's what he told the journalists, that he's above the law. That's what he said. I mean, he's lucky that if he held this press conference in 1998, he would have seen the questions that the journalists would have asked him. Because we would have been there to ask him questions. What are you talking about? Do you mean that you are above the law? And nobody asked him that. He goes to cry in front of journalists and pretends to the general public that he's some messiah trying to resolve our corruption issues of 100 years, and the judiciary is frustrating him. So the general public should rise up against the judiciary. Is he all right? Is he really all right? Kisi Ajabin, is there something wrong with him? I mean, I cannot understand this. This is the president losing cases. Because of these things, where Africa's democracy always fails, because we don't focus on institutions, and we focus on some people. Some people think that they are some grand people. Barack Obama arrived here in 2009. I was in the conference center. I don't know where Kisi Ajabin was in 2009. You should ask him. But I was in the conference center when Obama made this statement. It registered in my head. I've never forgotten about it. This is what Barack Obama said.
Africa doesn't need strong men. It needs strong institutions. Africa doesn't need strong men. It needs strong institutions. Africa doesn't need strong men. It needs strong institutions. Africa doesn't need strong men. It needs strong institutions.
I'm sorry for playing it so many times, but I wanted you to hear that. I sat there that day and I heard Barack Obama clearly. The guy sitting by me, next sitting to me, I think it was Dr. Kofi Amor or so. So we looked at each other, and then one of us, I don't remember, I whispered to her, he whispered to me that did Rawlings hear that? Rawlings was sitting in front of us. But this is the point. Barack Obama came here in 2009, how many years ago? And he told us that Africa, you are building a democracy, keep it like that. You don't need strong men, we need strong institutions. So the institutions of the judiciary have been doing their work. The judiciary is one of the most important institutions that have made our democracy survive. Since they started their rulings in 1992-93, the 31st December case, MPP versus IGP, MP versus GBC, the right to demonstrate, all of those epochal establishments that the Ghanaian judiciary has given to us as part of this constitutional march. Kisi Ajabin wants to derail that only him, he is not part of that. He cannot be under the judiciary. He is above the judiciary because he's special prosecutor. Really? He's above the judiciary? When he does something, the judiciary shouldn't comment on it? My disappointment is with the media who sat there watching him spew out this hogwash to them without even looking at their constitution, the basic constitution, to tell him that Mr. OSP, Article 125 says this. What is your problem? They couldn't even ask that question. They were listening to him spew out the hogwash. This is a dangerous commodity to Ghana's democracy. Dangerous commodity. He thinks that he's above the law. This is how they start. This is how all the coups started. This is how they start. They start talking about being above the law. This is so dangerous. This guy should be looked at. He is very, very dangerous. If any institution of state thinks that he is above the judiciary, the president doesn't think he's above the judiciary, the vice president doesn't think so, the speaker doesn't think so. This man, he thinks that when he does something, the judiciary shouldn't look at it. Really? Kisi Ajabin, he's above the constitution? Kisi Ajabin, He is above the 1992 constitution that people like Akoto Ampao have fought for and died for. Kisi Ajabe is above it. I was so disgusted when I heard this. A special prosecutor holds a press conference and says that the judiciary is coming after me. Play that tape where he talks about people told him something. Play it.
You are for any multi air problem watcher, no lashing out at the Kisi Ajabe or a special prosecutor. After his press conference, a Richie called a journalist to make comments that suggests that he is above the law. He called OSP as a dangerous errant commodity to the democracy of the country and a hogwash, and he is not above the constitution. And the OSP on saying the constitution on also share and he is not above the law. It's not about what you and see what so can say.
I have had several calls from well-meaning lawyers admonishing me that they have heard talk that our friends who have been elevated to the bench and presiding over cases in court do not take very kindly to criticism, especially of the public calling out variety as we do. And that if the office persists in the media releases, the judges will gang up against the office and throw out all our cases. Mind you, members of the press, the collective admonition is from very senior and experienced lawyers who are men and women of the world. Collectively with the well-meaning lawyers who admonish me, we philosophize and wonder if our judges would do such a thing as gang up against the flagship public anti-corruption agency to scuttle its work for whatever reason. Our musings ran along the lines of, would that not defeat the fight against corruption?
Why is he talking without energy? He seems to be lacking energy. What's wrong with him? Is it that he doesn't believe me? Was he lacking energy? He's holding the paper as if he's afraid of what he says. Is he lacking energy? He will lack more energy because he's dangerous to democracy. Did you hear him? He says that well-meaning people, do you know what? Does he know what well-meaning people have told me? I'm going to tell you. Well-meaning people have told me, but I don't believe it, that Kisi Ajabe collects money. I don't believe it. I don't think it is true. I don't know why they are saying that. But these are the allegations that what he does is that when there's a case, he collects money. He doesn't do it himself, as they say. I don't believe it. But that's what they are saying. And he should be addressing that before the media. The allegations, that is mounting. The allegations mounting upon the special prosecutor. That when he picks a case to investigate, you can pay them and they'll give you a favorable report. I don't believe it. But this is what people are saying. He should be addressing those allegations. Wild as they are, and I'm sure that is not true, but this is what people are saying about him. Has he heard it? He says that people are telling him that the judiciary have ganged up against him. We are hearing people are telling us that what he does at the office of special prosecutor is not to prosecute at all. It's just to select cases where he thinks that he can exploit the difficulties of the accused persons so that he may take money. We don't believe that. We don't believe it, but that's what people are saying. That's what he should think about that. He should think about dealing with those allegations, because in this work that we all are, the narrative is sometimes more important than the truth. Because when I heard it was wild. How is he going to take money? I don't believe. I know him. I don't believe it. But these are the things people are saying. I'm saying this to tell him that you don't come and do a press conference and say that people have told you something and you make it part of your press conference that people have told you that if you publish, the judges will gang up against you. And you tell people that in the press conference based on what people have told you. Do you know what people have told others that we haven't said? And I have heard this a long time. I didn't say it here. But because he has said what he has said, now I'm saying it and he should check it. And there are more details I can bring out. But because we don't believe it, we don't do the details. We don't believe it. We don't believe it. But this is what people are saying. They are saying that he collects money. He has a gang, not he himself. They've described the details to us. He has a cabal. Now, I think that Kisi Ajabe should be asking the Attorney General to investigate these allegations so that he will come out clean. Because I believe he will come out clean. He should be because if today there are allegations about the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Attorney General will be capable of investigating it. There are such allegations against the modus operandi of the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ajabe. The modus operandi of the Special Prosecutor, there are allegations about it being called into question. On very wild allegations, some of which I've told you. These allegations are unbelievable. But these are the allegations being spewed out against him. And then he comes on press conference and says, people, well-meaning people, the people who told us are well-meaning people. Some of them are priests, some of them are chiefs. They are worried about this allegation, about the special prosecutor, that about the special prosecutor, and the money they are talking about is not 5,000 cities and 10,000 cities. It's not the one that we deal with every day here. It is thousands of dollars, $600,000. That's what they're asking for. The allegations. That's why we don't believe it. That's the reason. In fact, when you hear the figures, you will doubt it. But these are the things that people are saying, that the guy is collecting money. Now, I'll come to a few more things. Let's deal with it. Kisi Ajabe, let's deal with it.
IAOSP and about much in the or bonus now and some all the action. Then and a year one so why didn't you miss your pastor with a fair at the amame our comment section or how a Ghana teams within a show Macron.